I'm here at the foot of Pearl Street this morning to bring you what I think is a really interesting story. Many of you have walked by this house behind me and wondered, A, what is with this house, what's going on with it, and what's the history of the house. So let's begin. Why am I here? I'm here to talk to you about a very interesting story. And the story is of the building behind me, number 385 and number 383 Pearl Street. The house was built as one building, but in fact it was built as two residences. It's a fine example of a row house. And it was built in 1880 by William Acland. William Acland was born in Oxford, England in 1826, and he married his wife Isabella in 1848. They had two sons, David and Joseph, both of whom were carpenters. And Joseph had his own house of note on Torrance Avenue. The house was built for William. We don't know who the builder was, but it was built for William as a rental property. William was a florist and needed extra income. William's renters included W.H. Finnemore, who was a local miller, a gentleman by the name of Richardson, who was a 32-year-old school teacher. Why is the house of heritage value? Well, if you look at it, it is a fine example of an Italianate design. What does Italianate mean? It has overhanging eaves with brackets supporting it, long, elongated windows. It has a fine brickwork around the top of the doors and the windows. So it is of heritage value. It was declared a heritage building. Well, what does that mean? It means that it is a landmark. It means that you can associate people and names with the building, and that it would be a loss to the local community. It would be a loss of culture. It would be a huge loss if the building was to be torn down. So the Burlington City, luckily, determined that the building could not be pulled down. Instead, there was a demand to have the fascia of the building included in the design of any development. So the current developers were forced to include the building in their design. And if we look to the side of the building, you can see that already the back part of the building has been removed, and that the building has been elevated and moved forward already. The design called for the building to be moved forward, I think it was 1.5 meters. So I find it fascinating that this old 1880s era building is being retained in such a novel and interesting way. So as we walk down Pearl Street, you need to stay tuned, I guess, to see what all of this is going to look like in 12, 18 months. It'll be a very, very interesting project. The changing face of Burlington is somewhat frightening, but it is a pleasure to see that this particular building facade has been preserved, and today that we can see that the house is now being carefully put in its permanent spot within this condominium complex. We will keep our eyes on it and keep you appraised, and we will watch the progress and keep you updated.